I still could stand my ground. Oh, fate, you tried me and it failed, but I know how sharp your blade. We will play once again. Engage in dancing on the edge. Dancing on the edge of fate. You tried me and it failed, but I know how sharp your blade. We will play once again. Engage in dancing on the edge.
Accident, make it look like an accident, and expect me to run.
Okay, I will go eat something and drink some water.
But will are you saying it's destiny, testing me till I go down and down, down and down? This will end, don't know when, don't know
When skies have fallen down and I still could stand my ground. Oh, fate, you tried me and failed, but I know how sharp your blade. We will play once again. Engage in dancing on the edge. Desperate, make me look like I'm desperate. Throw the rest of your lies one by one. I'll explode them now. This will end and I'll be there. I'll be there. When skies have fallen down and I still could stand my ground. Oh, fate, you've tried me and failed, but I know how sharp your blade. We will play once again. Engage in dancing on. Dancing on the edge of fate. You tried me and you failed, but I know how sharp your blade. We will play once again. Engage in dancing on the edge.
accident, make it look like an accident, and expect me to run, run and run. But will are you saying it's destiny, testing me till I go down and down, down and down? This will end, I'm desperate. Throw the rest of your lies one by one. I'll explore them now. This will end, and I'll be there. I'll be there when skies have fallen down. hidden. Make it look like an accident and expect me to run, run and run. But will are you saying it's destiny, testing me till I go down and down, down and down? This way.
Why Gravedigger once spent 7 hours in the middle of the ocean. It started out as a casual conversation. Dennis Anderson was talking with someone about a July 4th event at the Whalehead Club, a man-made island. The man suggested it would be cool to have Gravedigger there. Not only did Dennis say he could bring it, but also said he could actually drive it there. And at 10:28 a.m. on July 4th, 1994, Dennis did just that. What followed was a 7-hour journey across 7 miles of open water. Fishermen and even tourists joined in with boats. At one point, the truck almost got stuck, and in the middle of the Currituck Sound, they had to do an oil change. However, 7 hours later, Gravedigger rolled onto the other side of the sound to a full hero's welcome. Why Gravedigger once spent 7 hours in the middle of the ocean. It started out as a casual conversation. Dennis Anderson was talking with someone about a July 4th event at the Whalehead Club, a man-made...
Let's go, buddy. Let's fucking go! Nigga, it's time, nigga! Let me remember. Oh, wish me luck.
Наших ног звездная пыль на сапогах, мягкое кресло, клетчатый плед, не нажатый вовремя курок, солнечный день в ослепительных снах. Группа крови на рукаве, мой порядковый номер на рукаве. Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай мне не остаться в этой траве, не остаться в этой траве. Пожелай мне удачи, пожелай мне удачи. Звездная пыль на сапогах.
Wait, is that Nazi?
Мягкое кресло, клетчатый плед, не нажатый вовремя курок. Солнечный день в ослепительных снах.
Группа крови на рукаве, мой порядковый номер на рукаве. Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай мне не остаться в этой траве, не остаться в этой траве. Пожелай мне удачи, пожелай мне удачи.
What the fuck is this bullshit, bro? Oh, you motherfucker!
Звездная пыль на сапогах, мягкое кресло, клетчатый плед, не нажатый вовремя курок. Солнечный день в ослепительных снах. Группа крови на рукаве, мой порядковый номер на рукаве. Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай мне не остаться в этой траве, не остаться в этой траве. Пожелай мне удачи, пожелай мне удачи. на сапогах. Мягкое кресло, клетчатый плед, не нажатый вовремя курок. Солнечный день в ослепительных снах. Группа крови на рукаве, мой порядковый номер на рукаве. Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай мне не остаться в этой траве, не остаться в этой траве. Пожелай мне удачи, пожелай мне удачи. Мягкое кресло, клетчатый плед, не нажатый вовремя курок. Солнечный день в ослепительных снах. Группа крови на рукаве, мой порядковый номер на рукаве. Пожелай мне удачи в бою, пожелай мне не остаться в этой траве, не остаться в этой траве. Пожелай мне удачи, пожелай мне удачи.
participar na sua de campeão mundial. Na nossa praça de esportes, Interlagos, na nossa capital, São Paulo, terra da garoa, com calor surpreendente de 38 graus. Atenção, atenção, foi dada a largada principal, o nosso Emerson na frente, atingindo a velocidade máxima que seu carro tem. Na curva do laranja ele parou pra tomar uma vitamina. Na curva do S quem não sabia escrever se deu mal, saiu da pista. Na curva do cotovelo ele saiu-se maravilhosamente bem. Na curva do sargento ele comandava os competidores como general. E a turma de fora espantada assistindo a corrida se orgulhava e vibrava com a vitória do nosso campeão. Vem chegando a reta de chegada, a reta final, o nosso Emerson na frente vem descontando e todo mundo gritava com grande emoção: salve Emerson 73,
Salve Emerson 73, salve Emerson 73, salve Emerson.
Lotus, Lotus, Lotus 72, Lotus, Lotus, Lotus 72, é a máquina do tempo e na velocidade não tem igual. E num grande torneio de caráter internacional de Fórmula 1, o nosso brasileiro foi convidado para participar na sua condição de campeão mundial. Na nossa praça de esportes, Interlagos, na nossa capital, São Paulo, terra da garoa, com calor surpreendente de 38 graus. Atenção, atenção, foi dada a largada principal, o nosso Emerson na frente, atingindo a velocidade máxima que seu carro tem. Na curva do laranja ele parou pra tomar uma vitamina. Na curva do S quem não sabia escrever se deu mal, saiu da pista. Na curva do cotovelo ele saiu-se maravilhosamente bem. Na curva do sargento ele comandava os competidores como general. E a
Yeah, let's race. I've played enough. Let's actually do some work. Oh, there we go. TV jack? No. Ah, shit. Nah, man. Let me see. I need money for that.
Lotus, 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 72. Lotus, 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 72. É a máquina do tempo e na velocidade não tem igual. E num grande torneio de caráter internacional de Fórmula 1, o nosso brasileiro foi convidado para participar na sua condição de campeão mundial, na nossa praça de esportes, Interlagos, na nossa capital, São Paulo, terra da garoa, com calor surpreendente de 38 graus. Atenção, atenção, foi dada a largada principal, o nosso Emerson na frente, atingindo a velocidade máxima que seu carro tem. Na curva do laranja ele parou pra tomar uma vitamina. Na curva do S, quem não sabia escrever se deu mal, saiu da pista. Na curva do cotovelo ele saiu-se maravilhosamente bem. Na curva do sargento ele comandava os competidores como general. E a turma de fora espantada assistindo a corrida se orgulhava e vibrava com a vitória do nosso campeão. Vem chegando a reta de chegada, a reta final. O nosso Emerson Foi dada a largada principal, o nosso Emerson na frente, atingindo a velocidade máxima que seu carro tem. Na curva do laranja ele parou pra tomar uma vitamina. Na curva do S quem não sabia escrever se deu mal, saiu da pista. Na curva do cotovelo ele saiu-se maravilhosamente bem. Na curva do sargento ele comandava os competidores como general. E a turma de fora espantada assistindo a corrida se orgulhava e vibrava com a vitória do nosso campeão. Vem chegando a reta de chegada, a reta final. O nosso Emerson na frente vem despontando e todo mundo gritava com grande emoção. Salve Emerson 73. Salve Nacional de Fórmula 1. O nosso brasileiro foi convidado para participar na sua condição de campeão mundial, na nossa praça de esportes, Interlagos, na nossa capital, São Paulo, terra da garoa, com calor surpreendente de 38 graus. Atenção, atenção, foi dada a largada principal, o nosso Emerson na frente, atingindo a velocidade máxima que seu carro tem. Na curva do laranja ele parou pra tomar uma vitamina. Na curva do S quem não sabia escrever se deu mal, saiu da pista. Na curva do cotovelo ele saiu-se maravilhosamente bem. Na curva do sargento ele comandava os competidores como general. E a turma de fora espantada assistindo a corrida se orgulhava e vibrava com a vitória do nosso campeão.
chill funk. Let me find my favorite one. No, it's not there. It does not there. But anyways, just choose this shit. Ah yes, that's not nostalgia song. I have heard it so many times in my favorite playlist. Suka Liam! is almost straight then. Almost perfect, but yeah, we gotta take that. What the nigga's this, bro? No. Audio. Gonna choose. No. Still not. What the fuck is this bullshit, bro? Come on. Wait. Primary. No. Mèo ra. Trắng nữa. Trời ơi là trời. Nah, hell nah, bro. Yours is so fine, right? Still no sounds? Oh, wait, hold on. Yes, there's. Mèo ra. Okay, so I'm back, but I gonna change seat. I really need sim racing setups, but this computer is my dad's computer, so I cannot do shit. Yes, sir. I just did it again. I break my own record. Damn, bro, sorry. Let's see. There's another guy. I say yes.
Just a bit of a disclaimer before I start this video. I just want to say that what you will be
okay.
seeing right now is me.
Yes, I did it. Damn, man. I tell you, sure subscribe to this man. Okay.
So I did the lap in VR, but I didn't.
Alright, let's go. I broke my own Damn it. I think I have returned my peak. I think I have returned to my peak, bro.
Record.
Lotus, Lotus, Lotus 72. Lotus, Lotus, Lotus 72.
Holy shit! Peak, bro! It's peak, bro! It's peak, bro! That's it, it's peak, bro. Let's see peak, bro. Hey yo, man! Oh my crap! Ok, hello, xin chào mọi người, chào mừng mọi người đến với mình là Chucky. Thì hôm nay là mình sẽ chơi tiếp Minecraft 1.11.2 Survival. Nói chung á,
Hello, xin chào mọi người đã trở lại với channel của mình là Red Hotel đây. Và mọi người đã đến với clip của mình một lần nữa rồi. Và mọi người hãy để lại cho mình một like, subscribe và hãy cho mình một share. Và nhớ để lại nhấn vào cái chuông nha các bạn, để nhận được những clip mới nhất từ channel của mình nha. Bây giờ thì bắt đầu thôi nào. Đánh ra mèo, đánh ra. Rồi.
Ok, hello, chào mừng anh đã quay trở lại với channel mình là Vinh. Đang chúng ta video về Minecraft và về video hôm nay mình sẽ chỉ cho anh em những cái cách để trang trí độc đáo nhưng mà chúng ta không cần phải can thiệp mod vào. Đây, và anh em biết mong chờ trước khi bắt đầu video thì anh em để lại một like và một đăng ký kênh nha.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn, chào mừng các bạn trở lại kênh mình Thành ơi. Nếu siêu này chúc em vẻ thì hôm nay chúng ta sẽ đi tìm kiếm điện máy xanh. Thì bọn mình lên cái xe buýt này này. Đấy, bọn mình lên xe buýt đạp. Bọn mình lên cái xe buýt này, mình chẳng biết nào bọn mình đáp nhiều quá thế là bọn mình bị tông xe vào đây. Tôi đang đi thì tao đáp rồi, các bạn nhìn mình đáp. Im đáp đừng ngồi đáp này. Ngồi đáp, nằm đáp này, ngồi đáp này, x đáp. Bọn mình đáp nhiều quá, thế là bọn mình bị xe tông vào đây.
ok, và bây giờ chúng ta sẽ vô Robinson. Không, Robinson.
Ghê vậy? Đẹp vậy?
Đó, nè. Chứ còn gì không?
Không bớt. Đó.
Đó. Em biết cái bài hay bị xinh các bạn bị trong bề nước luôn. Không biết luôn.
Nghe quen mà không nhớ.
Đó, thí dụ mà có cái bể nước này mình hát bài khác.
Yeah.
Hai bơi xinh có cặp bơi trong bể nước rồi lên đặt xuống chẳng muốn tung tăng. Mình chơi mà thiệt luôn. Bro.
Hey yo, what's up? How's it going?
Jesus banana,
It's channel bro. Banana. Và hôm nay mình sẽ cùng Jenny sẽ làm một cái series mới. Series này có tên là bí kíp luyện rồng. Thì hiện tại mình với Jenny ở đây đang là một cái vùng đất thời xa xưa có những chú rồng sinh sống rất là bá đạo. Đây là thời của Viking, thời tiền sử mà trong cái phim hoạt hình mà bí kíp luyện rồng các bạn thấy đó.
Hello, dạ người, mình là Xin đây và chào các bạn sẽ đến với tụi mình và chào mừng đến với video Nhiều cho sói có thể mặc áo đắt trong Minecraft. Và trước khi bắt đầu video thì các bạn đừng quên ấn nút đăng ký, nút like và đừng quên đặt một câu comment phía dưới ở video này nhá. Và các bạn có 5 giây để thực hiện yêu cầu này. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Và cảm ơn mọi người rất là nhiều và chúc mọi người xem video này. Annyeong.
Mà bữa nay nè em lên sau này em hái, tại vì em thấy hạ sỏi nó chín rồi em leo lên hái, mà sao giờ kỳ quá em leo lên được, bây giờ em xuống không có được, anh ơi em cứu em ơi, cho em xuống anh ơi.
Nghĩ sao mày leo lên được mà giờ mày xuống không được hả?
Ui yeah, bãi cái mông của mình rồi. Trời ơi, bãi luôn cái đít của mình rồi, trời ơi.
Ok và xin chào mọi người, chào mừng mọi người đã đến với channel mình. Dạ và mình Lander. Và ngày hôm nay mình sẽ làm một cái video hướng dẫn các bạn top 5 những cái phát minh đá đỏ đấy, cực kỳ sáng tạo trong Minecraft. Và chúng ta cùng đến với cái sáng tạo đầu tiên. Thì mình hướng dẫn các bạn cách làm một cái thuyền làm bằng piston. Đầu tiên đấy. Cút mẹ mày đi.
Time. I used to like really hate Simi because like Free Fire stuff, you know. But well, now I've grown up. I also have a YouTube channel too. It's the one you watch it right now. And yeah, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
GPS Auga app, which is absolutely brilliant, and I've just had a little glitch at the moment where we have currently the number 108 Asbest Racing BMW 325i from that BMW 325i class, currently about a kilometre off the track at Vipperman, according to the GPS, which is I don't think it's there at all. I'm sure that is an absolute glitch. So our current standings, our race leader is the number 3 Jules Gounon pedalled Winwood Racing AMG GT3 at the moment. Just behind that, I say just behind it, 5.5 seconds at the moment, having served its penalty in that bay at the beginning of the track there. Dan Harper in the Rover Racing M4. Christian Crons in the Valkenhorst Motorsport Aston Martin Vantage is in 3rd place. 4th is Chris Hassett in the Shearer Sport Audi. So Mercedes, BMW, Aston, Audi, Porsche, Mercedes and Porsche there, all in the top 10. We've just been debating on how many laps each driver is going to do in this leading cars. Gounon, we've done 7 laps is optimal normal. We can do 8. We're on the leading Merc has completed 20 laps now. It's coming on to... It's on the dotting hoe now, is it not? Indeed, yes, under the bridge. So we're just debating whether it's going to do this lap or another one. We think it might well pit at the end of 22 because it did a 7-lap first stint and then an 8-lap second stint. So that was the first stint was driven by Max Verstappen. Jules Gounon in this car now, and we will see whether he actually pits shortly at the end of this. I'm going to ignore that 108 because I think that's actually in the pits now. It's telling me it's a little bit further there. So the leading car comes through Tiergarten. Is he going to pit? We will tell in a second as he comes through to the last bit, the left-hander. And no, he's going to do another lap. So that's 21 laps completed for our race leader. Dan Harper, the gap was 5.5 odd seconds. So Dan Harper, second place man in the Rover racing car. That is now Pitty. That's number 99 Rover BMW. So that's going to pop. I was going to say Christian Krones in the Vulcan Horse Aston Martin into second place. It isn't, because that's pitted as well. So Gunon in the Winward racing car continues, in the Winward racing entry, sorry. That continues on its way. He must surely pit it in. We know calculation-wise it can do 23 laps, but I doubt very much whether it will. So second and third, 99 and 34, have now pitted. Dan Harper and Christian Krones in. So Haas it is that's in fourth place now in the Shearer Sport Audi. 21 laps on the board for all three of these, but Gunon continuing. We thought he might go to the end of this for 22.
Yeah, well, they had all the lap, but it was the point they stretched to an 8-lap stint for their second stint that really put them in this position of they've got control in terms of pace, but also control in the way they've run their race tactics. It's wise, and it's certainly looking to pay dividends right now.
Davis fly cam time.
It is for the moment. So I'll be intrigued to see whether they do run that extra lap. I think, like you, 23s, it's possible, but why would you do it? Why risk it? So you just don't want it running out of fuel on vapors, do you?
No, sort of embarrassment can come in many forms. Yeah, so all the ones that came in after 13 laps have done an 8-lap stint and come in after 21 as predicted. Now, people just joining us, one of the novelties this weekend has been the it's listed as on the entry BMW M Motorsport as the BMW G81 M3 Touring. It's based on the
M Touring 24H. It's official.
Oh, indeed, yes, 24H, yes. Okay, so they should be able to pack sleeping bags in the back for the, but that's coming into service pit stop now. But it's an M4, but with an M3 body, but in racing trim, effectively, to paraphrase and abbreviate it to the sort of lowest common denominator. But it's something great. You know, there's been a history of estate car-bodied cars, and obviously for BMW, the touring name has been evocative since the very early 1970s in terms of, oh dear, a mechanic nearly ran out to take a look at it.
2002 Tourings, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. 2002.
Yeah.
But since then, the touring shape has become less of a sort of just slopey back to being a proper estate car, because the 2002 touring was, you know, not entirely different from the saloon. But explain the race livery. It's black and it's white, and there's words all over it.
Well, those words, we'll just get the cameraman just come into the pit lane to show us, though, and these are all the comments that people have made on social media when this came out, and so things like, we need this, make it happen, future NLS winner right there, and these are all genuine quotes all over the front of the car. They look like little bandages stuck on it, little plasters, but they're actually quotes from social media, and I think it's absolutely brilliant.
I can see your message. Where's mine?
now go racing with it, and all these sorts of things. Absolutely brilliant. So, and there's one right on the nose next to the BMW Roundel, saying we love it. And that's exactly what BMW said. Right, so it says down the side of the car, you dreamed it, we built it. And I like that one. Where do you sign? Where do I sign? Yeah, yes, exactly.
On this check, sir.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Or madam. Fresh set of Yokohamas going on board, and now one thing that always needs focusing on is there's always a massive tire war when we get to the events like the Nürburgring 24 Hours, and even within this, the NLS, you get a lot of pride if you're the tire manufacturer and you take victory, because it's such a tricky circuit to get right across all weathers. Don't forget to have those across the course of the full season. If you're just joining us now, this is the first race, but the second round of the Nürburgring Langstreckenserie Series for 2026, because the first one, snow stopped play, but more to the point, very, very cold conditions, below freezing conditions, meant it wasn't safe to go racing just a week ago, last Saturday. But it was quite nice for the teams that were disappointed there, and there were many of them, but they understood the reasons, that they get the chance to dip their toe in the water the following weekend rather than wait. A lot of championships, you have round one, and then a month or so later you get round two. At least there was almost instant satisfaction coming the driver's way and the team's way.
One of the things about the tyres there is this is an open tyre series, so you can run whatever make you want. So many are a control tyre, as in that's it. It's one manufacturer sends you those tyres, and that's what you have. It's their compound, their choices, whatever. And they try and make that adaptable to all different cars. So what that means is you will have different teams having the same brand, be it a Porsche, a Mercedes, an Aston, whatever it may be, but they may choose to run a different brand of tyre on that model of car, which is even more confusing and brilliant, because then they think, well, I'm going to go with Dunlop, I'm going to go with Michelin, or I'm going to go with Yokohama. Many other brands are available, but my point is, it's down to you and what the teams may feel is best.
Yeah, don't forget a handful of years ago, Falcon Motorsport, obviously running their cars on Falcon tyres, were running a Porsche and a BMW. Yeah. So they were sort of evaluating them for other teams that run each of those manufacturers' cars. But it's great, you know. A lot of motor racing the last 30 years has gone down a one-make route, whether single-seaters or some forms of touring cars and things, and GT models. But you know, to me, over the history of time in motor racing, and I've been following it for quite a while now, I like the variety. You know, I understand reasons why particularly single-seater series go the one-make route, but I always liked it, and actually the drivers liked it if they happened to choose the right chassis, right, you know, to go racing and maybe get a works deal. But I like the variety, and I think I probably speak for most people. If you come to look at a race, you want to see cars of different shapes and sizes giving battle, and that's why GT3 that runs in the SP9 class here is so good, because you've got cars with a sort of calibrated performance to keep them equal, but it doesn't mean their lap's performance is going to be even the whole way round. Yeah. And the cars look different, and that's why it's great. And then you put different liveries on them, they look different again. So I do really bang the drum for variety.
Well, I'm with you. There's always different ways of explaining it, but I think the purity of a single make series with the same chassis, the same engine, the same tyre, whatever it is, and the same circuits, is it should let the cream rise to the top, and it should be down to the driver. That's the principle, but it doesn't always work. The flip side of it is somewhere like here, where you have such an extraordinary theatre of a circuit anyway, that you may have a team running a brand of car manufacturer, another team running exactly the same car, customer car, with a different tyre on it. You will then immediately thinking, well, what are they doing better? Is it the tyre? Is it us? Is it strategy? And as you say, it's so many variables. And I think that is one of the things that appeals. And yet, just look how competitive. Look at our top cars. Mercedes, BMW, Aston, Audi, Porsche, Ferrari.
Staring out, speaking out, reaching in, I'm getting ready. Can you hear, can you feel, this is how I wanna be. Peeling out, breaking out, moving in, I'm really rather burning up, shouting out. It's the rain, all I know is this machine, we got something beautiful. And I put you clear tonight, fire freeze my eyes like feel the edge, hold it close, make a break incredible. All at once I come alive. I don't care what people say, all I need to tell you in your face when you frown, can't control the feeling now. Crazy heart purring loud, drowning out the big sound. Hold your breath, feel the spark.
I'll show you what I know. Take you one big. Maybe I'll even ask if you sit a little faster. Come on, let's go.
Every night I've been praying for this moment to come together. Every night I've been waiting for this moment, a fever. Every night I've been praying for this moment to come together. Every night I've been waiting for this moment, a fever. Every night I've been praying for this moment to come together. Every night I've been waiting for this moment, a fever. Every night speaking out.
You have little faith, etc., etc. Yeah, but you know, the racers and the tacticians can be racers as well. The strategists, you know, they're push. But at the moment, it's been such an exemplary performance. This is one of the things with this sort of racing: multi-driver lineup. If you've got one that's really well balanced, Max Verstappen, well, you know full well, Danny Juncadere and Jules Gournot, they've been racing Mercedes AMGs for years now. They are the gold standard. You put in Max Verstappen, who's here to weave his own magic. There's not a chink in that armour. They are all super fast, super strong, super consistent, and it's mighty. But you will have other crews, and this is where you have, it's so difficult for a Pro-Am crew to be placed at the front end of the field. That's why it's so impressive. The number 48 Porsche from Losch Motorsport with Black Falcon is up in third place overall. But it must be said, though, it's a very strong driver. I mean, Tobias Muller, I reckon, put on his best race performance I've seen him have. He did the first. And that's why, against full pro lineups, they shouldn't be able to feature up there. But clearly, Tobias Muller has done just a fantastic job because he hasn't shed too much time. And you know, it'd be massive accolade. And I'm sure if we see if they do manage to finish in the top 3 to win Pro-Am, he'll be smiling from ear to ear. You know, it's been a really strong drive from Tobias. You expect the other two to deliver, and they're duly doing so.
I did place the argument the other day that there's for the 24-hour race in May, that in this lineup, which is joined by an hour as well, isn't it? The Lucas Hour, my apologies.
Lucas Hour, yeah.
That in that lineup, Verstappen is arguably the weaker link because he hasn't had 24-hour experience, whereas the others have, and they just know inside. So it'd be interesting to see how much he does at night. I bet he will, because he'll want to. He's not going to reject a challenge, is he? But I'm not saying he's going to be slow or anything. I'm just saying, but that is the credit to the strength of the other teammates in that field, that he's arguably perhaps the weakest link at night in that car.
Yeah, in the real world, but we know full well that he's done some 24-hour races, sim races.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, and plus his sort of natural, you know, performance abilities. Yeah, talent, that's the word.
Staring out, speaking out, reaching in, getting ready, can you hear?
But you've not done it till you've done it. I guess it's a simple thing, but
Staring out, speaking out, reaching in, getting ready.
A quick look. He's did the 24 hours here at the Nürburgring 2017, but his diet of racing has largely been the NLS. But he's had the odd drive at Falcon Motorsport. We talked about them earlier in the Porsche Caymans, but you know, he's not really raced away from the Nürburgring, but he's sort of stepped up with this team.
Crazy heart's pulling loud. Hold your breath, feel the spark. Staring out, speaking out, reaching in, I'm getting ready. Can you hear? Can you feel? This is how I wanna be. Peeling out, breaking out, moving in, I'm really revving.
In terms of
burning up, shouting out.
Very, very strong in the AM department, because when you've got Dylan Pereira and Patrick Assenheimer, you're going to be doing
Staring out, speaking out, reaching in, I'm getting ready. Can you hear? Can you feel?
so looking good at the front of the field. That's Jules Gournot. Over 8 minutes. That's where you need to be. The Shearer Sport car with Christopher Haase, who led the first stint of the race, is now up into second place, but that's 8 minutes flat. So things are fair, but the clock is counting down. Those final pit stops still to be made by any car that's important. Yes, the race leading car. Blue and red Charger, the Mercedes from Verstappen Racing with Wood Racing, and it looks like they'll be doing lap stint, followed by an 8-lap stint. They'll come in, and then by dint of the fact their final pit stop will be closer to the end of the 4 hours, all will be fine. They'll have a much, much shorter pit stop than their rivals who are behind them anyhow. So they've got it all covered. Absolutely, of course, their rivals would fall them back by serving their third pit stops and then they'll still be on track racing at full speed while the number 3 Mercedes is at a standstill. But its pit stop would be far shorter than its rivals, so it would go in from the lead of the race and come out back into the lead, barring some extraordinary circumstance.
And I do think we've talked about liveries on different, how different liveries suit different cars on this series. And I've got to say, this Red Bull livery on the Mercedes really does suit it. I think it looks stunning from every angle, especially by our helicam shot now, looking down above it. It's absolutely superb, just a great shot. And then we get the one from the Tiergarten looking back down the
Why was El Diablo retired? El Diablo was one of the most difficult trucks Feld ever tried to keep alive. First, the body itself was a problem. El Diablo ran a highly detailed 3-dimensional body. It looked incredible, but every crash meant expensive repairs. Over time, the price simply didn't make sense. Then the toy issue. Monster Jam relies heavily on toys. El Diablo struggled badly in this area, and without toy sales to offset the high body costs, the truck's profitability plummeted. Finally, the truck's final full-time driver, Lupai Souza, retired from Monster Jam at the end of 2016. Since the truck was already facing financial and marketing hurdles, Feld decided to retire the truck along with him rather than find a new driver. Why was El Diablo retired? El Diablo was one of the most difficult trucks Feld ever tried to keep alive. First, the body itself was a problem. El Diablo ran a highly detailed 3-dimensional body. It looked incredible, but every crash meant expensive repairs. Over time, the price simply didn't make sense.
Very, very well, thank you. So Jules will be getting out. It's always interesting to see, you know, what a driver says when they get out, how they communicate. But at the moment, Jules steps out of the way, throws his seat, put his seat insert on the roof. Max pops his insert in, and then is just popping himself into the seat. And then Jules will help with the belts, and eventually put the safety net across. But for Max, this is still sort of fairly. He's competed here twice before, but his experience of sharing cars with others, of course, is relatively thin on the ground. And but I'm sure these drivers, you know, knowing he's in with 2 ultra pros who know Mercedes AMG inside out. Don't forget last year when Max raced here in the top class, he did one performance in the junior class cars and he stepped up to race a Ferrari. This is an entirely different beast, but again, it's in the GT3 format that races an SP9, so learning as he goes. But he'll have done sim mileage before, you can be absolutely sure of that, for fun and for knowledge, of course. And down the car goes, but it will be a much, much shorter pit stop than the rival cars, and should gain 11 seconds in terms of a shorter pit stop than those that stopped a lap ago, and quite a lot of the rivals came in 2 laps before, so his pit stop would be 22 seconds shorter than theirs, which is a helping hand, but already this car should emerge back onto the track in the lead of the race. Unless I've got my sums very, very wrong indeed, but they've done everything right. 7-lap stint in the opening stint, 8-lap, and then with 43.5 minutes left on the clock in this 4-hour race. NLS2 it is, first race of the year, because the first one was too cold to race after overnight snow. Engine is fired up, indication waiting for no traffic coming to the pits. Wave away. 43 minutes to go and play through to the end of the race.
It's like the days when we grew up, wasn't it, Bruce?
I never did.
Well, for once, I won't disagree with you. You know, F1 drivers who would do. They did. They plied their trade and helped everybody, and you know, it just. Injured or at risk or whatever, and can't fly on planes together, all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things I do like about this guy's attitude, is that he wants to go racing because he wants to go racing.
Yeah, and I think it's great, and I always loved it back in period when the drivers were taking part in multiple races across the meeting, because it gave a yardstick against, you know, for the regulars or irregulars in those series, and it gave, you know, of course the aim was prize money. Exactly, but also they did it because they enjoyed it. But in this case, Max is doing it because it's something different, but it's also on a circuit that he really craves, somewhere that provides an ultimate challenge. You know, I defy anybody to come and look at the Nürburgring Nordschleife and not think it's a challenge. And Max, you know, his expertise he's shown in Formula One across the years. From that moment, he just had that extraordinary debut for Red Bull Racing, having moved up from Scuderia Toro Rosso. First performance, Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, that'll be victory, thank you very much. But it hasn't always had the best car, but he's coming here because he wants to do the sort of tracks that are different, that are classic. To a lesser extent, another driver from Formula One who always expressed a desire, didn't always get around to doing it, was Jacques Villeneuve. He wanted to go the harder the circuit, the better. And I think a lot of others would follow, but, you know, Max can negotiate his own position. So I think, you know, he's probably not going to have anyone standing in his way saying no, is he? A lot of other drivers, they might say, I'll do it later in my career, and some are talking about, Sebastian Vettel's talking about wanting to go and do Le Mans 24 hours, maybe with Max and others. A classics car? Well, wouldn't that be great?
I think Verstappen's of the character that if you want him to do something, tell him not to. I think that's the psyche. Yeah, but I think, you know, he's so versed in racing, you know, follows on from Father Jos. And he sees these races and thinks, you know, if you said to him, have a Grand Prix here, I'm sure he'd absolutely agree, though I can't imagine the World Championship would quite fancy putting their cars to play on a circuit like this that is very different to the
Did you know in the new scenario Track Blazer we have another female commentator by the name of Hosoi Junko. She graduated in 1996 along with 2 others to become the first female jockeys in the JRA. Her first race would be on March 2nd, 1996, and she would run in 493 races throughout her career. On January 5th, 2014, she was cast to be a race-horsing commentator, and she garnered quite a bit of fame as a commentator. This led her to appear in the Umusame media, appearing in Season 1, Season 2, Umayuru, and then also in the Track Blazer scenario as a commentator. She has quite a bit of lines to say, not just during the race, but also when Umusame wins, so it's actually worth it to stick around and not just skip everything. Did you know in the new scenario Track Blazer we have another...
That's comfortable for this time of year. And of course the cars, the tyres and everything performs differently when it gets to warmer temperatures in the summer, but right here and now, all looking very good indeed.
Can I just point out that, as ever with your predictions, they're usually spot on, because you have done this a bit before, but currently our third position car is the number 48 Pro-Am car.
Yep.
I'm just going to emphasise that. I know we've said it, but I'm just going to emphasise that for everybody listening, watching, looking, whatever. That's a Pro-Am car currently sitting in line for a podium with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
40 minutes to go, my apologies.
You know, something in terms of Pro-Am element, I mean, the Am element was a very strong Am in the form of Tobias Muller. As I said, since 2017, he's been competing in the Nürburgring 24 hours and stuff, so he has track experience. However, he stepped up. He's had a few performances in the Pro class before, but he's listed as an Am, and he's doing just an exceptionally
my heart, he always has been. The best driver, one of the icon of Formula One.
The best driver in Grand Prix racing.
He is in Brazil, is in my heart, he always has been.
Will be his 37th Grand Prix win.
Ayrton was one of the best
driver in the world by a long way.
He was really the first kind of icon in the sport, pretty unique individual.
Senna, to the delirious delight of his countrymen.
He was definitely one of the best ever driving Formula One.
This is the best thing that could possibly have happened for Grand Prix racing.
When we start debating on who's the greatest racing driver of all time, a few names always come up, but one seems to always stand out from the rest. A driver known not only for his achievements on track, but also heavily from his off-track actions. I'm pretty sure you won't find anyone who doesn't recognize the name Ayrton Senna. But just how good was he? Is he overrated? Does he truly deserve to be crowned the GOAT? Let's find out. It's rare for a driver to grip the motorsports world right off the start of their career as much as Ayrton Senna did, so it's only right to go back to the very beginning. And before I cover his F1 debut, I want to touch on how he got there in the first place. On the 21st of March 1960, he was born in Sao Paulo into a pretty wealthy family. No surprise there. His father bought him a kart when he was just 4 years old, but his first race came 9 years later when he turned 13. After karting for another 8 years, he moved to England in 1981 to make the jump to open-wheel racing. Between 81 and 84, he won 5 championships, including the British Formula 3 Championship in 83. This year was famous for his battle with Martin Brundle, with both of them fighting each other hard until the very last race. In recent years, we've heard Brundle repeatedly name Senna as his greatest rival ever, and talking about the incredible skill that he had. Brundle's appreciation for this year in F3 he spent battling Senna speaks to how amazing he was.
I could beat him on my day, but that's the key phrase, on my day, because the great drivers have many more of their days, and he did have that natural talent, that sixth sense they all have.
The next step for Senna was clearly Formula 1. While fighting for the British F3 title, he tested F1 cars for Williams, McLaren, Brabham, and Toleman. Lotus, McLaren, and Brabham all wanted to sign him, and even offered him contracts. They wanted to sign him as a development driver and give him an F1 seat down the line though, while Senna wanted to race in F1 straight away. With this in mind, he turned these deals down and signed for Toleman instead.
Sem dúvida não carro para ganhar uma corrida. Ele não vai ter condições de competir contra uma Ferrari, uma Renault, uma Brabham, mas carro para subir no pódio.
Toleman were a small, tight-knit team on a less than ideal budget, but it gave Senna a route into F1, which was all he really wanted to do. So, after he won the British F3 title, the 24-year-old Brazilian made his Formula 1 start in Brazil in '84. But the hard work really starts when you get to F1. The start of his debut year was full of unreliability, and the car wasn't very fast either. It was difficult for Senna to show his skills inside the cockpit, and he was desperate to score some solid results. Senna had only finished 2 of the first 5 races and finished P6 in both. Toleman introduced a new car for the 5th race in France, but it didn't magically bring them to the front of the grid. But his career was about to take a massive turn at the very next race. On the 2nd of June 1984, qualifying for the Monaco GP took place, and it was looking like another typical race weekend. Senna qualified 13th. Even with his 2 brilliant 6th place finishes that year in the uncompetitive car, it would be extremely hard to replicate that on race day in Monaco. The streets are just too tight to make up that many positions, regardless of how good you are behind the wheel. Well, that's what everyone thought anyway, because Sunday was far from normal. It brought some of the worst rain the Principality had ever seen. F1 race weekend or not, the conditions were catastrophic. So bad, in fact, that a lot of the drivers didn't even want to race because they thought it was so unsafe.
I remember, and at the beginning of the race, 84, was raining a lot, you know. We were talking about is it good to start the race?
Mind you, we're in 1984. This wasn't common at all. But that didn't stop F1 from going ahead with the schedule and throwing that green flag. It was Senna's first street race in F1, and the challenge was made even more daunting by the conditions. Well, that would have been the case for most drivers, but for Senna, it was just a chance to showcase his talent, and that's exactly what he did.
Challenging for that 2nd place, and he's taken it. A magnificent bit of driving by Senna, who's now in 2nd place.
While others crashed, like race leader Nigel Mansell, and drove around cautiously like Alain Prost, Senna drove like his career depended on it. With an unbelievable drive, he made it up to 2nd place through sheer pace alone. And he wasn't finished there. He continued to reel in Prost, who was suffering from brake issues, and who was trying to get the race stopped because of the intense rain that continued to fall. Senna eventually caught Prost and passed him right before the race was stopped.
With Alain Prost, and Prost is stopping, and Senna crosses the line before he gets there.
but the rule stated that the result had to be taken from the previous lap. So Prost was declared the winner, which Senna obviously wasn't too happy about. It would have been an incredible first win in an incredibly underperforming car, but still, he recorded a second place finish, and in only his 6th F1 race ever, he made a huge mark on the sport with his undeniable talent. But the F1 world had seen nothing from the young Brazilian yet. He bought himself out of his Toleman contract at the end of that year and signed for the legendary Lotus team for 1985. He hoped it would be an improvement on his time at Toleman, but even he wouldn't have predicted what would happen that year. On the 21st of April 85, F1 held its second race of the season, the Portuguese Grand Prix, but it was no normal race. That Sunday, the Estoril track was absolutely soaked. After qualifying at the front and taking the first pole position of his career, he went on to win his very first Grand Prix the next day. But in true Senna style, it was no ordinary win. He took the checkered flag over a minute before anyone else. He absolutely crushed the competition. I mean, crush is almost an understatement. Michele Alboreto finished second in his Ferrari, and he was the only driver in the entire race that Senna hadn't lapped. I mean, things like that just didn't happen in F1. Along with Monaco, which was less than a year before, this was probably Senna's best drive of all time, and it was truly his breakout weekend. But he definitely didn't stop there. He took 7 poles that year, which was by far the most of any driver on the grid, and finished 4th in the standings. Everyone could see that F1 had a legend on their hands, and thought it wouldn't be long until he won a world championship. But like all things in F1, it wasn't going to be as easy as everyone thought. Senna stayed at Lotus for 2 more years, and went on to claim 5 more incredible race wins with the team. He put in some incredible performances, and in '86, his 7 pole positions were the most of any driver for the 2nd year in a row. At this point, everyone could see he was special, incredibly fast, consistent, and able to fight at the very front. And so was the car. But I don't want to just look at the results, because even though they were extremely impressive, stats alone can't define Senna's career. One of my favorite things from this period hasn't got to do with stats at all. It's simply this: the Lotus 98T. It was Senna's car that year, and it was special. And the turbocharged Renault V6 engine produced over 1,000 brake horsepower in qualifying spec. And of course, it had those iconic colors: the black and gold John Player special livery, the legendary yellow helmet in the cockpit. There's something magical about it that just can't be replicated today. Well, not on the track, at least, because off track is a different story. While the Lotus 98T is more or less resigned to the history books these days, its spirit lives on, and for that, I have to thank the loyal sponsor of the channel, Rec Watches. The feedback I got from you guys last time I mentioned Rec was incredible, and I stayed in touch with them, and we thought we had to give you guys another special deal. Look how incredible this watch looks, and the fact that it features original parts from Senna's Lotus 98T, chassis 4 to be exact, makes it such a unique conversation starter. So how exactly did they do this? They collaborated with classic team Lotus and reforged the original aluminium plenum tubes from the 98T to form the outer chapter rings. They have an aluminium plenum. They collaborated with classic team Lotus and reforged the original aluminium plenum tubes from the 98T to form the outer chapter rings. They haven't cut up the legendary chassis that Senna drove or anything. It's still intact and actually still does some historic racing today. What they did was exclusively use surplus engine parts from when the car was restored. And because of this, of course, this watch is a limited edition run. It's not like Lotus are making any more of these cars, so it's exceptional to have the opportunity to own a piece of it. But they're only making 989 of them, so they'll be gone pretty quickly. And by the way, they're all individually numbered. Rec have spent nearly 2 years working on the design alone. The case construction is incredibly sleek, despite it having a chronograph complication due to the glass box design. There are many design references from the car on the watch too, with the black and gold color tones probably being the most noticeable. There's also the large 12 on the rotor and the movement backplate decoration that resembles the Renault EF15B engine. The timepiece is Swiss-made and powered by an in-house chronograph movement with a 62-hour power reserve. If you want to know more about REC and benefit from an exclusive 20% discount on pre-orders, check the link in the description of this video. And thank you once again to REC Watches for continuously supporting the channel. Now, back to the Brazilian GOAT. Senna had his best season in '87, finishing third in the championship with 57 points. So after he raced with Lotus for 3 years, he decided it was time for a new challenge. In F1, you have to prove yourself against the absolute best, against proven race winners, world champions, and beat them. But that's not who Senna had as teammates. He hadn't been paired with any real competition, so there were still a lot of questions and debates over whether or not he'd fold against the likes of Prost, Piquet, or Mansell. Things changed in '88. Senna joined McLaren, and for the first time in his career, he was up against some serious competition. His teammate was none other than Alain Prost, who was already a two-time champion. And coincidentally, in the very same year, McLaren produced something truly magical. The season became most well known for the legendary MP44, a car that won 15 of the 16 races that year. With Senna and Prost at the wheel, it was absolutely dominant. But it wasn't without its ups and downs for the team. Senna was immediately a threat to Prost, out-qualifying him in the very first race in Brazil by almost 7/10. It looked like he was going to be a problem for the Frenchman all season, and he was. Their first incident came at the Portuguese Grand Prix, where Senna jumped Prost at the start and took the lead. Prost went on to overtake Senna on the second lap, and then this happened.
Out of the final corner. He gets close up into the slipstream of Senna. He goes alongside. Senna tries to shut the door, and the two cars very nearly collide.
Prost wasn't a fan of being driven towards a concrete wall at 180 miles an hour, and this quickly set the scene for their relationship over the next 6 years.
Going back to Ayrton's overtaking maneuver, that was a bit hairy, huh?
Yeah, I was very surprised because normally, especially the first lap, when you do that with your teammates, you don't have a big problem like this, but I don't understand. He should have some reason to do it.
I want to show you the stats from their time as teammates though, because I think it's the best way to compare them. Across the '88 and '89 seasons, there were 32 races. Prost won 11 of them and took 4 pole positions. Meanwhile, Senna won 14 of them and took pole a mind-boggling 26 times. So, when their time as teammates came to an end, Senna won more races than Prost and out-qualified him. But across those 2 years, they both won a championship, so on paper they were even. But Prost had had enough. The mental toll of battling Senna for 2 years was starting to show. On top of that, their countless incidents like Suzuka '89 didn't help.
This is the opportunity that Senna's looking for, and he's going through. Out! Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. They beat. This is what we were fearing might happen during the race.
I'm afraid that the self-inflicted Senna has got going again. He's back on the track.
And Senna wins in Japan. Is there going to be a stewards' inquiry? Alain Prost will have one if he can.
La décision rendue. Par le Collège des commissaires sportifs du Grand Prix du Japon
excluant la voiture numéro 1 et le pilote Ayrton Senna, les résultats de l'épreuve.
What I'd like to do now is show you some footage which I think is quite relevant, because we're told that you can't use escape roads to rejoin the race. Escape roads are not for escaping through, they're in fact for stopping in, turning round and going out of. And for that is excluded from the Japanese Grand Prix. Where's the consistency? Can't be right.
Quand on est un grand pilote, quand on est parmi les meilleurs pilotes du monde, on n'avait pas le droit non plus d'avoir un accrochage stupide.
The way the whole affair has been treated is like I have total responsibility for everything that took place there. I was blamed for everything, and I was penalized for everything.
Well, it's hard to
I
make...
was treated like a criminal.
The situation forced Prost to leave for Ferrari in 1990.
You're the world champion, Alex?
Apparently, yes. I was not 100% sure. I know the regulation, but you never know how it's going to be interpreted. But to be very honest, I mean, I'm quite happy to leave, because I think it becomes absolutely impossible to work with Ayrton, and that's a good end of championship.
With Prost gone, Senna thought their rivalry would be over and that he'd be in for an easy year. But oh boy, was he wrong. Ferrari was strong, and Senna and Prost had another legendary battle through the entire year. They swapped the lead of the championship numerous times, but Senna eventually came out on top after deliberately hitting Prost at Suzuka.
Ayrton Senna will be in pole position for tomorrow's Japanese Grand Prix. Prost was second fastest.
Normally, if the inside was clear, the inside for sure is better, because it's dirty. The outside is better. Like Hungary.
Story down in the pit lane and on the grid is one of tension. With the World Championship up for grabs, everyone is extremely tense.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Huh? I can't stand it. I can't stand this. It's a joke. After what happened last year, it's a joke.
Ayrton Senna actually walked out of the drivers' meeting today. He thinks that the pole position should be on the left-hand side of the grid, not on the right.
I was many times by the system. I told myself, today is no way. Today has to be my way.
And Senna sprints away, but Alain Prost takes the lead. It's happened. Alain Prost has taken the advantage. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately. This is amazing. Senna goes off at the first corner, but what has happened to Prost? He has gone off too.
O campeonato está terminado e Ayrton Senna é o campeão de 1990.
Tell us what happened on the first lap, Ayrton. Now, unfortunately, we touched in the first corner when we were fighting for the lead, and we both went off.
I've been reading a lot of rom-coms lately. Even the animes I'm watching this season, the ones that I've been liking a bit more than the bangers like JJK or Oshinoko are the underrated romances that has come out. Probably because I'm a lonely piece of shit. And in both mangas, animes, even manhwas, they have been a journey to say the least. Some of them has been good, some of them have been goated, some of them has been either terrible or exceptionally mid, and for some reason, they're the ones I've made videos on. And I don't really like that. This channel, like I mentioned in the description of it, is a space for me to talk about things that I like and things that I dislike. Yet lately, all I've been doing is talk about things that I give negative reviews on. It just makes me feel like a grumpy unk who keeps on complaining and complaining, and while I do like doing it, I kinda wanna switch it up. I think the last time I spoke positively about something was 2 months ago! Oh my god. I really am a grumpy, lonely piece of shit. So I started looking, reading, and searching for candidates for me to talk about so I can recommend you guys some of that good shit. That good shit that made me squeal, get diabetes, the ones that made me feel the love tonight. And I kinda struggled. Not because there aren't any good ones, but rather because there are just too many of them. On top of that, some of them are a bit too good that I don't know how to really put into words why I love it so much yet. Or some are great, but just needs a little more time to cook before I can really put a definitive score or praise it. And in the middle of this dilemma, I decided to read something I didn't expect to read. A manga that I dropped within the first 5 chapters and decided to leave alone, named Haimiya Senpai is Scary But Cute. A manga that's been given a lot of praise, high ratings, people glazing it, people making tons of edits of it, but I was hesitant on making a video on it because when I read it, I just didn't think it was that good. Yeah, I'm not beating the allegations. Before I give the context, let me do a quick recap on what this manga is about. See, this entire series started when the artist did a little doodle and played around with an OC he created, which had suddenly blown up on Twitter, leading him to make a mini-series about this girl who is, as the title of the chapter suggests, this super scary senpai who's weirdly kind only to me. And it goes just as you expect. Hare, what's up, baddie? You wanna come hang out with us? Ugh, shut up, you're annoying. If you'd like, wanna go hang out with us? You're too persistent, just give up and die. Damn, that escalated quickly. Senpai, if you want, would you like to walk home together? Heh? Of course! Anything for you, my little cutie patootie. I dedicate every fiber of my being to make you happy. And from these little snippets of the readers getting to know Haimiya, the artist caved in and started a new series where her charms are more fleshed out. And what better than to make her star in a rom-com and meet our boy, Albert. No? People are sick of the name? Okay, fine, we'll call him Mark. And it's all pretty much the same. Mark is doing some cleanup duty and is given a lot more burden than the others because they're too lazy and lax, and then Haimiya comes in. Oh, you fucking twat! Shut up before I rip your skin in half! Ah! Gomenasai, gomenasai! That ruined my entire mood for the entire day. I swear I'm gonna sacrifice 3 children.
Oh, hi Mark.
And for a while, it just seems like that's gonna be the rest of the series. The next chapter shows another case of Haimiya being scary. Grr, you're in my way, don't take up the whole space. But when she meets Mark, she's like, oh hey, wanna go to school together? Then the third chapter, Mark gets a little bump from someone, then Haimiya drags at someone and demanded a castration, which made him apologize profusely. Am I the only one who thinks that's a bit of an overreaction? I mean, he did apologize that he was in a hurry. I don't know. I've learned telling women how to feel doesn't usually end well. And you get the point. It's a slice of life where we get to see Haimiya and Mark get close to each other, with the theme of Haimiya being the #senpai, #scary, #so cute girl that everybody loves. So naturally, with this premise, everybody started praising, glazing. People started making edits and getting lots of likes just talking about her. Pretty much everybody fell in love with this manga. Everybody, with the sole exception of Kiwi, of course. Now before you get angry, just hear me out. I have said time and time again that I am starting to get sick of the average rom-com formula. And for a while, this manga followed that shit to a T. What do I mean by the formula? Well, I mean mangas that are hard carried by the charms of the girl. The popular one in school is paired up with the social recluse, timid, average, no personality guy who is exceptionally dense, so when romantic progress happens, the author can prolong it by making them extremely dumb. For example, Mark overhears a crowd of friends talking about line and he's like, man, Man, I wish I have friends I can share my line with. Maybe I can share it with this girl who is an asshole to everyone but is nice to me and only me. Not to the hot guys, not to the cool kids, the teachers. I don't even think she's nice to her own parents. Surely she has some positive feelings towards me, right? Like me? Nah, who the fuck am I kidding? Like, I'm sorry, but this shit is really old. I know people have said that these types of pairings is the main characteristic of Gunner bait mangas, but I take it a step further and call it loser bait. Because these are the types of mangas that tell boys to stay quiet and everything will work out. Mark is too shy to ask for the baddie's line, yet he is rewarded by her asking him for his line. And this is not to say girls shouldn't make the first move. Please, tell me you like me and I will think about you nonstop. We men are very easy. But this idea of getting congratulated for your cowardice is, I think, a dangerous mentality that a lot of people fall victim to. Be brave to take the first step. If there's someone you like, go talk to them. It's scary, but that's the point. A lot of times in life, you need to take a leap of faith. It doesn't matter how messed up your stats are. If you don't go out and jump into dungeons, you're never getting any XP. Don't be like Mark, who just sits back and wait for the person to make the initiative. Go out there, be yourself, text her, ask her if she's free this Sunday, invite her out to watch some movies or something, go dress up and have a date with them. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, this is when the manga took every criticism I had and threw it right to my face. Because I've just been so accustomed with these rom-com main characters being spineless for hundreds of chapters that I've forgotten something called character development, which is usually a myth in this genre. Mark got free tickets from his hot sister and decided to ask Jaime out, which led them to go on an actual date. And for a while, I seriously thought this was a dream sequence. Like, I thought I was being pranked. And this is when this manga, and Mark himself, turned around themselves for me hard. The next chapter showed Mark asking his sister some advice on how to go on them, and I really appreciate this. Because had he not asked them, he would have gone out looking like a stinker. But his sisters gave him really good pointers, and it also made you anticipate on whether or not he's going to follow through with it. And initially I thought, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Oh my god. It happened. There's a scene where Jaime is being hit on by two dudes who she has no interest in while they were on a date, and Mark, being the awesome dude he is, jumps in and saves her from being harassed. This reminds me of that one episode from the Mikadono anime. Both main characters are there to protect the girl while on the dates, however, this one edges it slightly for me. Because the guy in the anime is a really reliable person who's pretty capable in many things, so for him, being bold and jumping in seemed to be something normal for him, which is confirmed later on when he also hits on that girl's sister. But that's besides the point. That in itself is fine, but I really like this version a bit more because we see that our boy Mark was really afraid. I mean, yeah, since the first chapter we've known that he's kind of a pussy, but it's the fact that he jumped regardless of his fears that make him more respectable to me. Because as a wise man once said, you cannot be brave without fear. And just when you thought the scene is over as our lovebirds run away, he turns around and talks mad shit. He didn't have to do that. But he did that for us. Oh, and for her too, I guess, but yeah. And at this point, you're like, okay, we've seen them watch the movies together, have the cute scenario, finish the rom-com cliche. Overall, just a good date. I guess it's time for it to end, right? What? The two's outing continues? Wait, and it's not off-screen? We actually get to see it? Yo, we get to see more wholesome shit? Hold on. And Mark is unexpectedly kinda smooth? And now he's remembering his sister's advice to tell his date that she's cute to appreciate all the effort she's put in to look good in front of him. And as the date is ending, he's calling her out. She turned around, he opened his mouth, and fumbled. Fuck! Well. I guess I expected a bit too much from bro. But either way, this entire arc where we see their date is probably the biggest turnaround for me. Because afterwards, this manga continues on to subvert my expectations in the best way possible. Later down the line, we meet a new character who serves as the best friend character for Mark, and I really like that he has a penis. Just hear me out. Usually rom-coms are too afraid of adding another character that is the same gender as the main character. Or when they do, it is to make that character insufferable and be the love rival trying to NTR the main character. But instead, we have a dude who is just the coolest guy there is. Just a really good dude that likes Mark for being Mark, and on top of that, also has a fun relationship with Haimiya herself. Which is another trope I feel people don't mention a lot because you never really see rom-coms where two characters of different genders having a purely platonic relationship. It always goes like, oh, we're supposed to be just friends, but now I'm starting to fall in love with her. What do I do? It's so lame, bro. I don't understand why people don't understand that yes, two people of different sex can be friends with each other without wanting to have sex. It isn't rocket science. These two are great together without you feeling the need to ship them, and it's fine. I like it. Another trope they disassembled that I really liked is that they did proper communication. Mark accidentally said something that hurt her, and for a while she was being passive aggressive until she realized she was being stupid and laid her feelings bare. This is awesome. Even the fact that he fumbled, in hindsight, I actually kinda liked a lot. I mean, yeah, it's disappointing, but I'm glad the author didn't make him do a complete 180 just for the sake of the romance developing when it is not within his character. It's going to take time for him to change, and that's okay. I like it. Listen, manga, the more you do things that I like, the more I'm going to fall in love with you. Keep up the good work. But the last thing I want to touch on is chapter 21, which by the time this recording is the latest chapter to come out. And I want to talk about it because this is a chapter that really solidified its place for me, as it is a chapter in which I read and made me go, oh yeah, this one fucks. Mark overhears people making rumors of their relationship and how weird it looks, so he backed out and practically avoided her to not give any more flames to the rumors. I'm sure you've seen this kind of thing happen before, it isn't new. But what is new is that when being confronted and Haimiya finds out why he's been avoiding her lately, she unironically crashed the fuck out. And I love this. So many times these types of scenarios are met with the girl going, oh, that's it? Ah, you really got me going there. But for once, it actually gave me a scenario I've always wanted to see. Because I'd imagine myself being in the position of this person who was chilling, then all of a sudden, my favorite person decided to distance themselves and pretty much abandon me, all without me knowing why. Then when I found out that they've been doing so because they were worried about how other people feel, I would be extremely upset. Why do you care so much about other people when this is our relationship? Why care about them instead of caring about us? Doesn't my opinion matter? So when animes do this thing and say, it's not a big deal, I'm like, the fuck? No, it fucking is! And this is why I am liking this manga a lot. Time and time again, it subverts my expectations and actually gave me something different. They start out feeling like something generic, then twist your nipple and surprises you with something unexpected. And it's really making me like Mark as a main character. Because he is the very embodiment of the typical rom-com main character nowadays. And this manga basically takes that and slowly pegs him down for him to bloom into something more. He's learning, he's not one-dimensional. He fucks up and that's fine. That's what being guys are all about. What matters is changing from those mistakes and becoming the ideal person you want to be. This manga doesn't treat him as a blob to just bring out the charms of the main girl. This author actually cares and wants him to be a part of the story for something more, making him go from someone that starts out as a self-insert to someone I actually view as a character. And considering the market that we have nowadays, that's speaking for a lot. I had zero expectations for him, but he's made me like him so much that honestly, I kinda wanna use his real name now. Okay, fine, Mark. From now on, we'll call you by your actual name, Kurose-kun. Overall, I just like this manga a lot. From something that seemed so generic, it ended up being one of my favorite things to read at the moment. Ideally, it would have been great if I made this video when the next chapter comes out so I can know more about how they're going to resolve this issue of theirs, but now, I have so much faith in this author that I just know that they are going to cook. This manga started off in what I believe to be in the mid category, but as time continues and I keep reading, I think it is safe to say that it's proved me wrong and managed to place itself into one of my favorites. So I am going to give Haimiya Senpai is Cute But Scary a cute but scary score of 9 out of 10. Sup y'all, hope you enjoyed this video. You know the drill, check out my Instagram, but more importantly, I'm getting more active in this channel where I sporadically upload and stream, so check that shit out if you're interested. I think I'm gonna be streaming Persona this week, probably, so yeah, hope to see y'all there. Either way, I'll see you next time, bye-bye!
yeah, my brakes did actually fail. We're gonna get to that later. I'll show you that later. But first, we're gonna go to race number 1, F4 at Mugello. And the reason I was doing this series in the first place is because my Formula license is a D class, and since the new pickup came out, I haven't been driving that just because I don't enjoy the car that much anymore. So I'm trying to find something new to drive, and I'm kind of gravitating towards Formula, but I literally don't have anything to drive because I'm in D class. So I'm trying to get my safety rating up, and you're probably thinking, why am I using F4s to get my safety rating up? Especially when shit like this happens into turn 1 all the time. The reason is, there's literally no other series for me to drive. I'm stuck driving this for safety rating, and another wreck, just barely avoiding it. We're up into P, I think 20 now, just because people are wrecking in front of me. But yeah, there's nothing. There's USF 2000s, which I could definitely drive. I don't own the car, and there's probably not that much registration compared to this, so this is my best option. There's literally nothing else for me to choose from if I want to get back into at least C class. So yep, this is what we're doing, and I intended on these races to be as boring as possible, obviously, because I want to just gain safety rating. But since I'm making a video on them, clearly they weren't that boring. So yeah, let's hop on board with us. Looking behind, this guy's name is Aiden Price. Every time I race Formula, he is always in the race, racing against me. He's basically on the same pace as me every single race I drive against him, and that is not exactly who I want behind me right now, because he's going to do stuff like this. He's going to try to go for moves and try to battle me, and as much as I would love to dip my toes into battling and have some fun, I really don't need to right now. I just need to focus on not getting off tracks and not dying, which is a very hard thing to do in this car, because literally everybody in this car, everybody in this series is like aggressive as shit. A lot of people in this series are toxic, and it's a very interesting environment to drive in. So I'm trying to focus all of my brain power on just not getting involved with those aggressive, toxic drivers, just driving my own race. But now I have Aiden Price behind me trying to make moves on me every corner we go into. So I have a lot of things to think about at this point, but it doesn't matter, because going into turn 1, 2 people up ahead of me are just going to give me free positions, and that's going to allow Aiden Price behind to try to make a move on me. But luckily, I can make an easy move on the guy ahead of me to kind of separate me and Aiden. So now we have a car between us. I have a little bit of breathing room, and I can just keep looking ahead and wait for these people up ahead of me to make mistakes. And I'm really far down in the grid, so the people that I'm surrounded by right now are people that they're really not on pace. Most of them are actually doing the same thing I'm doing, where they're just trying to gain safety rating. They're not really that involved in trying to battle people. They're just driving their own race. They don't really care about their actual pace. So moments like this happen very often, where this guy up ahead of me just completely overslows. I'm not expecting it because I'm driving my normal lap, but he overslows so much to where I almost rear-end him. Luckily, I just catch it in time to not actually rear-end him, and up here something interesting is going to happen. They're going to go too wide. The guy ahead of him overslows on exit, and I don't know why I did this, but I was feeling a little frisky. Even though I'm doing this race for safety rating, I wanted to feel what it felt like to go 3 wide just for a little bit, even if I backed out mid-corner. Normally, if I wasn't going for safety, honestly, I might have tried to make that stick brake really late to try to outbrake both of them. And it looks like I'm trying to do it again into the last corner, but you can see I back out once again. Follow the guy on the inside and just try to get this position for free. Not really risking too much. This is it's a very safe move. I'm not really risking anything crazy, just trying to get him on exit, and unfortunately he has the slipstream of the guy ahead, but luckily I'm just close enough to box him out from going around him, so he actually resorts to pushing him. Even though we're in F4 and we do have very fragile front wings, he's just going to push the guy ahead of him. But going into turn 1, I'm going to outbrake both of them. They're not even going to open up the corner, and on corner exit, car 12 is going to get a better run, but I have the inside for turn 2, and he just gives it up. And that puts us up into, I'm pretty sure, P12. But if we look behind, there's Aiden Price. He followed us all the way through that entire pack. So we aren't just completely let off the hook yet. We still have to run a pretty quick lap here to just make sure we solidify that he can't catch up to us. And luckily, if you look ahead, we have a pretty large margin to work with. So I'm going to be able to push the car as hard as I can. And I'm going to bring you along for basically an entire half of a lap just to show you what this track car combo is like, because it is really fun to just hot lap. As you can see, this entire double right section is just completely flat out, and in most other like sports cars, it's at least a lift, if not a brake. Like in the old pickup, it was literally a brake. The only bad part about this car track combo is those sausage curbs. Normally you can completely run them over and still not get an off track. In this car, if you run them over, you basically lose all force feedback in your wheel while you're like flying in the air, and it just doesn't feel that nice. I don't think it's faster. It doesn't really feel faster. Maybe it is. I don't really know. I wasn't taking the sausage curbs just because it didn't feel right, and I didn't want to keep struggling or kind of fighting my wheel into every corner. But we're going through the last corner now. Let's see if I actually hit the apex this time. Sort of, still not an amazing corner, and I mean, with how little speed this thing has on throttle, I definitely could have gotten on throttle a lot earlier there, but I'm not going to complain about a lap when I had completely clear air. Honestly, felt pretty good, hooked it up other than that, but yeah. This is where shit gets interesting once again. There's never a dull moment in F4. We're going to skip ahead to after turn 1. Up ahead of me, the cars ahead are just going to decide they all want to kill each other. And this guy is rejoining the track right in front of where my racing line is. I didn't know whether to go to the outside or the inside here. Kind of scared him a little bit. I did come up behind him really quickly, and Aiden Price is going to take advantage of that. With all of that speed I had to scrub off to stay behind that guy and not kill him. Aiden Price is going to go side by side with me into probably the most dangerous part of the track to do so. But it's fine, because I have the inside for this flat out corner, and then we could just look off into the grass as it's like a nature documentary here. Everybody is just doing whatever the fuck they want. It's just a free-for-all at this point. But we're going to go on board with Aiden Price behind, see if he can make a move into this next corner. He's understeering off the track, just taking all of the off tracks this race. He's definitely not doing this race for safety rating, but he doesn't go for the move, luckily. So we're going to hop on board back with us. We have a little bit of clean air once again, but it's not going to last too long, because we're going to skip ahead to basically like a lap and a half later. We're going to be on the ass of this guy ahead of us, Diogo, and this is where things are going to get really, really interesting. Going into turn 1, you can see I have a humongous run, and he notices that in his mirrors, so he's going to defend turn 1, and we're going to go around the outside. And at this point, I felt pretty confident that I would be able to battle somebody without really risking anything crazy, because it's only me and him. But going into turn 2, he's just going to turn in as if I'm not on his inside, which is really interesting. I didn't really think anything of it. I'm pretty sure it was a 0x, but we get the position done. But it's not over. Just wait till this next chicane. So he's right behind us. I'm pretty confident he's not going to get me here. And he just dives down the inside of a corner that is basically flat out. So I had something to say to him.
Yeah, nice one. Good racing with you, buddy. Really good race.
Yeah, normally I don't get verbal in voice chat, but if someone's this idiotic, then I usually do. I mean, look he's dragging his rear left tire behind him, trying to finish this race. I don't know what he's expecting, but then he finally gains some sense, pulls over, and goes back to pits. So he tows back to the pits, and is going to wait for his fast repair, because in F4 you do have one fast repair, and I do the same thing. And then we're going to skip ahead to later when my tow finally finishes and I get that fast repair, and I'm back off to the races. We're going to hop on board with me going to the exit of this pit lane. That's not Diogo right there, but in front of that car, there he is. And we're going to look behind us because he gets his pit exit at the same time as us, basically. But he speeds in the pit lane to try to catch up to me. So at this point, I'm fully thinking I'm about to get intent wrecked. There's no way you would just speed in the pit lane for no reason other than to just follow me and intent wreck me. And it looks like he's going to, but for some reason he just doesn't. I don't know what just happened. So at this point now I'm thinking, okay, we're battling. The same situation is going to happen all over again. But then he just lets me go. So he basically speeds in the pit lane for no reason and gets himself disqualified. Yeah. He was disqualified from the race at the end, and we're going to finish the race in a solid P18. Yeah. So we were in P9 at one point, and we dropped down another half of the grid. And then on top of that, we got enough incident points to literally net nothing in safety rating. We got 0 safety rating from this race. Anyways, let's just completely forget about that last race. Let's move on to the next one. It's still the same week. We're still doing F4, but it's at a different track because F4... I'm pretty sure has 4 different regions, all at different parts of the world, basically, different tracks, all running at the same time. So today, or during this race, we're at Zandvoort, and right there, that guy just jumped the start. Let's just ignore that, pretend that he didn't do that, and just focus on the beginning of our race. Going off the line pretty well, getting ahead of that guy that jumped the start somehow, and going into turn 1, we have the inside, which is the safest place to be at any track in turn 1, because if you have the outside of turn 1, if there's a wreck, the people that are sliding out from that wreck are just going to go to the outside of the corner. So it's always safest to have the inside of turn 1, no matter where you are. I'm pretty sure there's no track where it's safer to be on the outside. So yeah, just keep that in mind next time you're racing, especially F4s. But we get by a decent amount of people into the top 10 already, and we have a decent gap ahead of us, so we're going to skip ahead to lap 4, where we eventually do sort of catch up to them. Going into the hairpin, 2 people are just going to kill each other and almost bring me with them, and it's going to make it really awkward for this yellow car up ahead of me. He's going to be forced to completely slow down and give up the position, and the car ahead of him was already really slow on exit, so I got that position for free as well, and we're pretty firmly up into, I think, the top 5 at this point. We'll wait for the relative to reset, but bad news is we have 3x. We have 3 incident points, which is exactly what I'm doing these races for, is to not get those. So it's not looking good on that end of the stick. But we're going to skip ahead to lap number 8. Up ahead, the next 2 drivers up ahead of me are starting to battle, which is going to draw them back to me. And that means I'm going to get into this battle as well. And even though I am doing this for safety rating, like I said before, I'm just I'm not aggressive, but I am a person who likes to be involved, if that makes any sense. Going into this hairpin, he overslows, lets the guy in front of him by, and because of that, I almost rear-end him, and that wouldn't have been good, because then I would have lost my front wing, and there would have been a lot of understeer involved in the rest of my race, which is not what I want at this point, because I want to get into this battle. Speaking of, at the exit of this hairpin, he gets a really bad exit, so I have the outside of the next corner, but you could see I just let off my throttle, because it's never worth going around the outside of that corner. You're either going to go into the gravel, or you're going to have to back out eventually. So I back out really early, focus on my exit, going onto this very long pit straight, and he sees that in his mirror, starts defending going into turn 1. We're starting to lose the guy ahead of us, but that's fine, because I just want this one position for now. Luckily, turn 1 at this track is fairly easy to go around the outside of, but on the inside of turn 1, he locks up, almost pushes us off the track, but we're still side by side on the exit, and it looks like I have the inside for this next corner coming up, but that's not always the best option, because you could see I'm all the way at the bottom of that camber, and he just gets a way better run than me, getting the switchback. And I mean, you would think the bottom line in that corner, the inside of any corner, is always more advantageous, but that corner at this track is one of the most unique corners in all of racing, because the outside line, the higher up you are in that corner, the better run you get out of the corner, just because of all of that camber. So that was a perfect example of that. He got a switchback, beautiful move by him, but we're going to skip ahead to the moment of truth in this race, because we're on the penultimate lap right now, but going on to the final lap of the race. Literally one more lap. They had to hold up for one more lap, but they decided to go at this moment in the race. Going into turn 1, we have the outside, and if you look at the bottom right on my data, you can see my brakes went up to around 60% and then just went to dead zero. In this moment, I honestly don't even remember what I was thinking, except for just having pure panic. I mean, imagine this happened in real life. The valuable lesson I took from this is, like, even though this is the sim, it showed me how dangerous racing really is. Because if this did happen in real life, there's nothing you can do to stop your car from smashing into a wall. And from what I understand, brake failure honestly happens more often in real life cars than it does in the simulator. Modern race cars are obviously safer than they've ever been before, but if something like this happens in real life, you're just fucked. But thank God this isn't real life. I had brake failure, yeah, it sucks, and yes, my brakes actually did end up breaking, and I had to replace the sensor on them, but luckily, I had a spare set of brakes already lying around that have the same sensor, so I just replaced the sensor with the old one that still works, and I still have brakes. After the wreck, I was trying to regain my thoughts and see what actually happened, so I went back into first gear and tried to start braking to see if my brakes were fully broken, and you could see they definitely are. And yeah, I can't believe this happened to me. I've seen videos of this happening to other people, but the fact that it happened to me, especially in the middle of a battle, was honestly crazy.
Bye, guys. We'll go to sleep now.